AddictedMovieNerd here, and today I just want to give a brief review on Toy Story 3 because a lot of my friends have been requesting me to do a review on it, even though they all watched it already. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do one. So anyway, I went to watch Toy Story 3 in 3D. It was the first movie I've seen in 3D, and my overall thought was I was intensely surprised and satisfied at the same time because Toy Story 3 was just an incredible movie. Now, to tell you the truth, the first time when I realized that they were making Toy Story 3, I was really, should I say, frightened and afraid because it's been like 11 years since they made another Toy Story movie. I mean, the first one came out in like when I was born or like the year after that or something. And then the sequel came out like 2 or 3 years later after that. So, and at that time, Toy Story and Toy Story 2 were two very good movies. Toy Story 2 was a really good sequel. And then everyone thought it was over until they realized that they were making a 3. And then I was really afraid that they were going to mess it up. But then I still had hope because it was still Pixar. And Pixar does not screw any movie up. They can if they even if they tried. So I still wanted to watch Toy Story 3 because after all, it still features Woody and Buzz, which will always be my favorite duo in all of the Pixar movies. Now, on the movie itself, I would say that I really like the story because the story is um, very real, I should say. It's a really real story. Basically Andy goes to college and the toys are no longer getting played with. So then they donate themselves to a daycare. And then they find out that Andy actually still cares for them, so they try to find their way back home. So it has a really good story and it goes after the second one really well. So that's a good thing. The second thing is that all the characters still have their humor in them, it still has their magic inside them, so it still feels like the same exact characters from the first Toy Story and the second Toy Story, especially Woody and Buzz. Now, for Buzz, Toy Story 3 had a new addition to Buzz, which is his Spanish version, which was incredibly hilarious, in my opinion, which was just really funny. And the first time when I saw Spanish Buzz in the trailer, I was like, what is this? This is so stupid. Why would they have Buzz as Spanish? It's just so random. But then when I actually saw it in the movie, it was like he was like Spanish mode for like 10 to 15 minutes and I was like, wow, he's incredible. So all I could say is that Spanish Buzz is really funny and it's a really good addition to Toy Story 3. Now for the new toys in the movie, I don't want to give anything away, but I bet everybody has already seen it. But I still don't want to give anything away. But basically, the new toys, they're just new toys, basically. But the whole movie was like a lot darker than the first two, so it went towards the drama side more than just comedy and family. And in my opinion, that's actually much better because it's been 11 years since the Toy Story movie came out, and if they keep it like the original two, people might not really like it anymore, because like it might still have the original childish that the first two had. So I was really like surprised and pleased that they had this more dramatic turn in the third movie. Now there were many moments from Toy Story 3 that I consider as very emotional and sad. If any of you seen Up before, you will probably agree with me that the first 10 to 15 minutes of Up was really emotional, I should say. Maybe some of my friends even had teary eyes. Even I had teary eyes sometimes in the opening scene. Now, I should say that Toy Story 3 has a few parts that I should say just as teary as the opening scene from Up. Now, if I compare Toy Story 3 to all the other Pixar movies, I say Toy Story 3 is tied with Up as the best Pixar movies ever. And then after Toy Story 3 and Up, we'll probably come to Ratatouille or Wall-E maybe. Or actually, I love all the Pixar movies. Just straight out there, just to tell all you guys, I love every single Pixar movie. They were all well done. Now, they still have the music. You Got a Friend in Me. They even have a Spanish version for the Spanish Buzz part, which was really funny. So yeah, overall, Toy Story 3 was an incredible movie. When it came out, it had like a 9.1 out of 10 on IMDb.com, and that's like 1 point something higher than the first two. And I was so surprised why it's like that. So now I totally agree, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It's a really good movie. Now, the next Pixar movie that's coming after Toy Story 3 is actually Cars 2. And I really have no interest in watching Cars 2, but again, it's Pixar, so I hope that it's going to be really good. So I'm still going to watch it anyways. But yeah. So basically my rating of Toy Story 3 will probably be 10 out of 10 or probably even 11 out of 10. It's an incredible movie. Great storyline, great music, great animation, great characters, funny parts. There were many funny parts, by the way. So, actually, there were some interview questions to the fans out there saying like, "Oh, it's been 11 years since the Toy Story movie came out. Would you, by any chance, because of this 11-year gap, would like not appreciate Toy Story 3 anymore because it's been such a long time?" There were like 75% people who said no, they would not forget about the Toy Story. They will, of course, they will remember it. And the remaining 25% says that yes, they will forget it. And I was like, why would you forget it? Like, that's like the stupidest thing ever. And I really don't understand those people out there who just do not appreciate Toy Story 3 anymore just because it's 11 years later. Now, I saw this guy on IMDb.com who wrote 2 reviews on 2 movies. One was on Jonah Hex, and one was on Toy Story 3. This guy gave Jonah Hex a positive review, but gave Toy Story 3 a negative review, which was like the biggest hunk of crap I've ever heard in my life. And I can't believe I'm going into a rant now. Oh, jeez. I shouldn't be ranting right now, because I'm supposed to just give a brief review. So, anyway, Toy Story 3 was, like I said, the first movie that I watched it in 3D, so all the commercials were in 3D too, and I actually thought the 3D stuff on Toy Story 3 was actually not bad. There was never usually anything flying at your face or anything. It just basically shows the depth of the characters, depth of the background, and it's actually not bad with the animation. Actually, the 3D with the animation is actually pretty legit, I should say. So yeah, so that's my review of Toy Story 3. If you haven't seen it yet, you basically have no life, so go watch it now. Now. I mean now.